All right, everybody. All right, everyone. Today I want to welcome you to another episode of Full Court Dreams, the Underdawg's Voice, the podcast that drives deep into the heart of underdog stories into the world of sports and beyond. I'm your host, Coach Q, and today we have an incredible, inspiring story to share with you. So joining us is Keonta Connelly. I pronounced that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I want to make sure I pronounce your last name right, because we be in school saying all types of stuff. All right, look. Keonta is a young man whose journey from the challenging streets of Sandtown, Winchester, and Baltimore to the collegiate football field is a testament of power, right, of determination, resilience, and the will to create a different path for itself. So everybody introducing Keonta. So what's going on, man?
How you doing?
Tough day at school today?
Yeah, good.
You short some people today.
Yeah.
In class, you short some people today. But look, it's an honor to have you on with us today to share your story. And it's not just about football. So on this podcast, we try to share all underdog stories, right? From ordinary people.
Okay.
Everybody, got shows where they got, celebrities and all that. But, you know what I mean? Me as an ordinary guy out there just trying to make it, or an athlete that's trying to make it. And I can't really relate to them people like that.
Yeah.
So we want to give people ordinary people a chance to come and just tell their story. And hopefully it'll help somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Help somebody along the way. So, that being said, your story is not just about football. It's about overcoming environmental and personal challenges, you know what I mean, that many can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Right? So let's start at the beginning, right? Growing up in Sandtown. Yeah. And I'm kind of familiar with Sandtown.
Yeah.
I had people living down. My people live down there.
Okay.
When I was younger, I'm a little older than you. So when I was younger, I was down there.
Okay.
And it was fun. It was live. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It was fun. So now, there's a lot of abandoned houses down there and stuff like that. So just share your experience, man. Start at the beginning and share your experience. You know what I'm saying? And what motivated you to choose a different path.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, growing up in Sandtown, it wasn't as bad because it was a lot of people around there that I knew growing up. My family and stuff was around there. But it was definitely rough as far as the environment when you walking outside your door and you seeing people slinging drugs, violence going on. Some of your friends gravitating to that. What kind of kept me on a different path was that I played for the Sandtown Wolverines, which was 2 minutes from my house. So I literally can just get up and go out the door and just walk straight to football practice. So that's kind of what saved me for real. Just kept me on the right path, me being able to play football, me being around some good positive men. But as far as once football was over, it's just going back to the neighborhood, running around with the kids that's in the neighborhood, as doing mischievous things and stuff like that. But at some point you just gotta want to be different and make a difference in your family and in your life and stuff.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, because I know that's how all of us was, right? We had to find something to try to get us away from where we was at. I mean, we had fun. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being around, we had fun. But sometimes it's hard.
Yeah,
to
for
be
sure.
around that. To be around that, man. You trying to find a way. I want to get me and my parents and stuff.
For sure.
About here. So now we talking about you playing, Pop Warner.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So you moving through your life. So high school come around, right? Yeah. So you're moving through high school. You're not only faced with challenges at home, but you're also faced with, challenges with the educational system.
Yeah, for sure.
Yet you still, you become the first male in your family to graduate from a 4-year college.
Yeah.
So talk to us about your educational journey and how navigating those academics, how you navigated through those academics and those athletic challenges in high school.
So even with growing up in the particular neighborhood that I grew up in, going to high school, and playing football for Sandtown Wolverines kind of gave me that youth football thing. Mm-hmm. So once I got to high school, some of the people in high school knew me from youth football. So it was once I got there, that kind of popularity thing, peer pressure and stuff like that, kind of like played a part in my academics because when I got to like 9th grade and 10th grade, I was just wilding out. Like I would run in the halls, doing everything that everybody else was doing, messing around with the girls and stuff. Not really focused on the academics, but me not really being on top of my stuff. My GPA had fell real low. So actually my 10th grade year, I ended up having to miss like 5 games out of the season. I ended up playing varsity all years of high school, but I ended up missing five games out of my sophomore year because I had like a horrible GPA. I'm talking about like probably like a 1.2 or something like that. It's just running around, just not being on top of my stuff. But it kind of really like humbled me for real. So like once that happened, I set out the 5 games. Eventually I came back off of academic probation, and then from there like I kind of tried to do like a 360. But what I learned though, it was almost kind of too late for me because once like the colleges started coming to look at you and stuff, if your grades below a 2.0 or 2.5 is like not really too much you can do.
Right.
And
so as far as that, like what would you give kids like nowadays? What would you give them advice about as far as like their grades and stuff like that, man? Because you know both of us are educators, right?
Yeah.
And we see how the little knuckleheads around the school. And we try to tell like, yo, well, I'm the best at football.
Yeah.
Mr. Collins, you can't play me, Mr. Collins. You know what I mean? So
sure.
It's like, all right, yo, you got the skill, but like
student, you gotta be a student athlete.
Student athlete, feel like your grades, yo, you gonna do my work.
For
like,
sure.
Mr. Collins, I got, man, like you gotta stay on top of your work, man. You tell them you want to go to Calvert Hall, you want to go to Concordia Prep, where I used to coach at. Like I know the coach at Concordia Prep. Like you ain't going there. Like they ain't playing that. You ain't on top of your grades now. Like they gonna look at what your grades look like. If you ain't on top of it in middle school, you ain't gonna be on top of it in high school.
Not at all. Not at all.
You gotta really focus on your grades and really be on top of your game, man. In school, and some of these kids just think, because they good, like grades don't matter. Which they gotta realize.
Yeah. These
schools get money based off of how many people graduate off these athletic teams.
For sure.
Right, especially these colleges, they get like it was a whole thing about grades. The thing that happened in North Carolina, right? So it was a whole thing about grades, man, and dudes having books under cat in the hat books under his bed and trying to learn how to read and stuff. Right, so they came up with a thing where like these schools, in order for you to get a lot of money, your student athletes you had to have student athletes graduate at a higher percentage.
Yeah.
It wasn't no, man. So now these coaches ain't looking for no dumb athletes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said in my last part, like even though I coach basketball, even with like you cannot really you can't fake it. Like you got to be really smart to play sports.
Yeah.
And these kids don't know like, you got a lot of reading to do. They just think, we went out there to catch the ball. No, dude, when you got a playbook that's
for sure,
and you don't know what X and Y and Z is.
It get real.
It gets real. It gets really real, man. With that. So speaking about college, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You was about to say that?
Yeah. So basically, I would just say like, by me like doing what I do now, as far as like training athletes and stuff like that. First, I always just kind of like make sure they on the right path with their grades and stuff. So I always try to tell them like, man, when you get to the 9th grade, man, don't let that GPA drop. You need to be at a GPA at a 4.0. You need to stay at a 4.0.
Right.
Nothing less than a 3.5, man. Because later on down the line, you're going to need those grades to get to where you need to go at. You can't just depend on your athleticism all the time. So just basically being a student first. Student first.
Always a student first. That's why when they say student athlete, the student comes first.
Yeah.
That's why the word student comes first.
Yeah.
So talking about that, so now you transition from high school, and now you're on your way to college. Like you overcame a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Including your grades and stuff. So now you have a chance, right? So now you transition to the college football. So transitioning to college football, it brought on its own set of challenges for you, right?
Yeah.
And a cultural shock. Like that, so let's talk about that. Yeah. I know your first stop was Oklahoma. So how did that go?
So initially for me, by my grades not being so good, in high school, I did end up receiving a scholarship offer to an NAIA school in Oklahoma.
Okay.
With that being said, I had to go to summer school down in Oklahoma for academic probation.
Right.
So basically that means that I had to do summer courses to qualify for the football season.
Right.
And for my scholarship to go into effect. So immediately after I graduated from Emerson Westside High School, the next day I had to go to Oklahoma to start my summer school classes. Yeah, so it was really tough for me because I went down there by myself. I was in a small town called like Muskogee, Oklahoma. Yeah, and it was rough. It was like a lot of racism going on and stuff like that. So it was
Muskogee.
Yeah.
Anybody from Muskogee out there?
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was just me. I mean, it literally was just me. It wasn't no other football players down there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like, because it was summer school, everybody was home at this point.
Right.
So it was just me and like probably like 3 other guys that didn't play no sports at all. They was just students. So like for me, I just had to learn how to like try to really adapt as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
But just being away from home and just not really knowing nobody and all that type of stuff, it was a lot for sure mentally, because like I said, we don't. For one, is like I've really never been outside of Baltimore like that,
right,
ever in my life, besides probably like youth football. But like for a long period of time like that, it was a cultural shock because it was just like a lot of stuff that I wasn't used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, and that can be a lot for a freshman. Like you ain't even have time to breathe.
For sure.
Graduate, cap and gown thrown in the corner, get on a plane.
Absolutely.
And then go down Muskogee.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Like, what the heck is Muskogee?
Yeah, I'm talking about like it was just a small town.
Like 500 people in that town, huh?
Yeah, 500 people. Walmart was probably like 5 miles away.
Oh, man.
You had to walk. Everything is walking.
Oh, my God.
So it was a beginning of a good journey though, for sure.
Mm-hmm. So, what was that like? All right, so that experience, right? So that drove you to a decision to decommit.
Yeah. So initially once I went into the summer school program, I already knew in my mind, like I told myself, like once I get into college, I'm gonna be a better student than I was in high school.
Right.
So once I got there in the summer program, I really focused on being a student. Like I was like on top of everything, and I really wanted to qualify to get into the school. But it was just a lot of stuff that like the dorm rooms and stuff like that wasn't like up to par. Like I said, small town. It was a lot that played the fact that me decommitting, but I ended up finishing my courses there, so my grades was good during the summer period. So it still helped me out as far as like my transcripts.
Okay.
But once I decommitted, I was just like on a go for another school. But in that process, I was already kind of like trying to find somewhere to go at, so I don't just come back home to Baltimore and do nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I try to explain to my girls. Like that's in college playing basketball.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing. You've been here all your life.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Get away.
Yeah.
Get away and explore, man. And you can always come back home to visit. But
for sure.
Like, get away and explore, man. Live life. So you went from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
To seek a different role via junior college, in Minnesota.
Sure.
So how did that go?
So initially my older brother, which he passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. My older brother played basketball for a college in Minnesota called Vermilion Community College, and he in the midst of me coming home, he was like, "Man, we gotta find you a school to get to." He was like, because at that point, a lot of kids from Baltimore was going to like California JUCOs.
Yeah, like Cal Poly.
They was going to those JUCOs there, but a lot of those JUCOs didn't have dorm rooms and stuff. So my brother, by him going to Vermilion, he was like, "Man, listen, you gonna come out here in Minnesota, and we're going to get you to a JUCO that got dorms, so you ain't got to worry about your living situation."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of JUCOs don't offer scholarships. So basically it was more so about like making sure it was a good financial situation for me. Mm-hmm. And then once I came home, it was still enough time for me to get home and then get right back on a plane and go to Minnesota. So I came home from Oklahoma probably like right in August, and then I jumped right back on a plane and went to Minnesota to a junior college called Fond du Lac Tribal Community College in Cloquet, Minnesota.
Well, these names.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, for sure. And it was another small town. This was actually on a reservation, so it was a lot of like Native Americans and stuff there for sure. So that was another cultural shock. So yeah, so like all of this stuff is really different from me because where we coming from, we ain't saying none of this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's kind of really like teaching me how to be like more open, being able to adapt, being able to network and talk to different people and stuff like that. So
and that's a good thing. That's why our kids need to go out and see the world
for sure.
And that sports can help them do that. Like I tell my kids, don't let basketball use you.
Yeah, for sure.
Use basketball to travel, the network. It's because you like everybody ain't gonna make it to the NBA.
Yeah,
everybody ain't gonna make it to the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
But somebody might. Somebody might be a fortune. Because think about it, most athletes become Fortune 500 company.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, running Fortune 500 companies, right? So you never know. Like you go to school, you get your degree. The dude you play football with, head of a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all been cool all that time. You're like, man, come on, work for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
So use football to build relationships, man, and use basketball and other sports to build relationships because even though you might not be making $1 million in the NBA, NFL, soccer, whatever, you always, you can make it at doing something else.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because you're networking and meeting new people, man, you never know. I always tell people, you never turn on the opportunity.
Yeah.
And never be afraid to speak to somebody. Because like these kids these days, I don't want to talk. Like, for instance, so this is going off a little track. A little bit. Well, not really. But so it's a girl in my class that can draw real good.
Okay.
So I gave her my book. So I said, I want you to draw this for me. So she on that. She's sketching. And she's like, how work? She was looking at her work. And I'm like, your work is like really good. She's like, well, I said, listen. Don't ever doubt yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is really good.
Yeah.
And me having a book, I might want you to illustrate my next book.
Absolutely.
So don't ever doubt your stuff, man, because somebody going to like it.
Yeah.
So don't ever, share your work, because she ain't want to share it with me, right? I'm like, no, share your work with somebody, because you never know who's going to see it or who's going to like it and it can take you places.
Mm-hmm.
So, share your work. So she drew a little sketch. So, when I tell you, dude, I was so amazed at how she was sketching.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not finished yet. I said, all right. And when she finished, it looked exactly like the picture off my book.
Yeah.
Exactly like, man. And I was like, dude, you can be in a courtroom. You know how they be drawing the court.
Yeah, for sure.
Because she had, one of her pictures was like that. And I said, that picture right there looked like you were the person in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, if you got talent, share it.
Yeah.
And that talent that you share, you never know who's watching.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it probably can lead you somewhere. So, and that led you into Minnesota, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, how was it at that school?
It was cold, man. It was freezing cold. It was snow almost all year, all the way up until summertime.
Ooh.
So I'm talking about foot of snow, up high. Yeah,
I gotta find me somewhere in the sunshine.
Yeah. So but I ain't gonna lie to you, it's probably almost something that I needed because for most of my life it always been growing up in those populated areas where just being from the city, you got a lot of people around you kind of doing the stuff that they doing, and Collegiate, Minnesota is literally nothing to do.
Oh, yeah.
So it gave me that time to isolate and focus.
Right.
So man, I turned into a beast as far as just training regimen, getting up at 5 a.m. every single day, by myself, just grinding, putting the work in, because I really wanted to get out of that junior college situation. So I knew I had to put in the work to get out of there.
Right. So, and that's what a lot of people don't realize, right? Because everybody want to be it, but do you really want to be it?
Yeah, for sure.
Because to really be and get where you want to go you got to go there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And some of these people don't want to get up. I'm like, yo, are we gonna go work? What time are we gonna go work out? So I just, man, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
If you tell me you want to play at the next level,
for sure, you got to put that work in.
You got to
put the work in because if you don't, you're gonna be coming from Baltimore, we already kind of behind on the 8 ball in a lot of sports.
Right.
So even when I got there, I was already up against a lot of things, like just looking at guys from California, Florida. They already had the upper hand, size, speed, all of those things of that nature. So it's kind of like if you get up there and BSing, then you limit your opportunity to go to the next place that you need to go at. So for me, it was just like just paying attention to what was really going on and just knowing like, man, I gotta outwork these guys because I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest. But if I put in the work and work as hard as I can, I mean, the sky's the limit, really.
Right, and y'all heard what he said, not the biggest, not the fastest, not the strongest, and that's what the underdog is. Like, when you feel like that, man, you feel like, yo, I got to do extra.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially as a young black man, like, we always figure, like, when we out in the world, like, people look at us different. So we got to prove ourselves. We always trying to prove ourselves, man, when we go out into the world. So if we even if we are bigger, faster, and stronger, we still proving out, trying to prove ourselves.
For sure,
We're still trying to prove ourselves. So, so doing all this stuff, right? So you faced a lot of personal tragedy, and I want you to talk about that. I'm not gonna, I want you to talk about that. But during that time, you showed incredible perseverance. You know what I mean? How did you manage to maintain that focus on your goals going through all that adversity? So if you want to go with the backstory, you can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I played 2 years at Minnesota. My second year I did extremely well because, like I said, I was putting in the work. Even when I came home, like I got with trainers and I made sure I was doing what I was supposed to when I got home during the summer. But initially I started sending out my emails to different colleges and stuff like that, so I can make sure I can get to the next university. Well, get to my university. Right. So scholarship offers started rolling in and stuff like that. I ended up going to a Division II in North Dakota called Minot State University. Once I transferred there, that was another cultural shock because I went from being on a reservation with Native Americans to going into a PWI, which is a predominantly white institute, and it was so much different for me because it was like it was not that many black people up there at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, it's just like once again, it's just like I'd rather be here than being home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just dealing with so much stuff going on at home. My mom was sick at the time. Well, my mom always really been sick. My mom had cancer back when I was like 7 years old, and she just been a survivor, just going through those different phases. And my dad was in prison for like most of my life. We had that kind of connection like through the prison system, but as far as when he came home, like he was trying to get his life together and stuff like that. And then once I started my football journey at North Dakota, in the midst of the season, my dad ended up getting murdered.
Wow.
So probably like game 5 or game 6. Yeah, probably like game 5 of the season. My dad got murdered. I got the phone call, and I had to leave the school and come back home and like attend to the funeral and stuff like that. But it was really like it was tough for me because it was just a journey already. Once I got to the school in North Dakota, I was already undersized once again. Like I was like a smaller coming out of JUCO. I was a nice size, but like some of those guys was already like 4-year university players. So their bodies was built different. They was coming from different places in the world or whatever the case might be. And they was already kind of prepared for some of the things that I wasn't prepared for.
Right.
But then once I got the ball rolling, once again, I just kept that same mentality. Like, man, I got to go ahead and I'm the underdog already. I already know that. So, like, I got to go ahead and outwork these guys. And I kept that same mentality. I went into the first game of the season. I initially didn't start. It was just still a process of me figuring out that college system, like that university system.
Right.
And just knowing how to, like, be a part of, like, an actual program. Junior college, it was more so like everybody was kind of just trying to really get out of there.
Yeah.
But that university system was way different for me. And like I said, I got the ball rolling. I started getting accustomed to everything. Probably like game 2, game 3, I started. I outworked the guy that was in front of me. I ended up starting. But then, like I said, that curveball came in when my dad got murdered, and I had to come home. I missed probably maybe 2 or 3 games. For me, I was in a real bad space. I really didn't want to go back, but I was like, man, I gotta finish what I started.
Right.
So I ended up going back, and I ended up finishing out the season. And it was just tough being there because it was just I was probably 36 hours away from home. My dad just got murdered. I haven't properly grieved all the way. Right. And stuff like that. So it was still tough for me when I got back, but I try to finish out the best way that I can with what was going on. And I ended up finishing there. And I got an emergency transfer because my dad, so a lot of times some coaches won't let you out of your scholarship.
Right.
But they end up letting me out of mine because my dad got murdered and they gave me an emergency transfer, meaning I can go anywhere I want as long as I got a good situation. Yeah, for sure. Right. So I end up getting an emergency transfer. I was already sending out my emails, and just back this something I always want to tell everybody that's from high school up into junior college and stuff like that. You gotta do the work yourself. You can't always put put everything on the coaches or your parents or anything like that. If you really want to go somewhere, you really want to do something, you gotta put in the work. And I say that to say this. If I show y'all my emails, I was emailing coaches the whole staff and directory. I used to email probably 100 coaches a day from every program, D2, D1, D3, NAIA, everything.
Dude, I'm glad you said that. I am so glad you said that because, my AAU basketball program, right? I don't rely on tournaments to get my girls recruited. Yeah. So I did exactly what you did.
Yeah.
I set up all my girls have profile pages. Mm-hmm. They got access to 2,000 coaches.
Yeah.
So I tell my girls, what you rather have done? Would you rather for 20 coaches to see you, or would you rather for 2,000 coaches to see you?
Yeah, for sure.
So email these coaches. When you email, I will email.
Yeah.
Be a part of your recruiting process. So mostly every girl that I had play for me that play college basketball right now, no matter what level it is, got there by emailing coaches.
For sure.
And sending them their film. And we recorded everything.
Yeah.
So on our platform, I got video over probably 1,000 videos.
Yeah.
So the coach can watch the girl, okay, she was a freshman here, and watch her growth.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And tell if the coach will be there when she is senior, who knows? But I told my girls, you get the advantage over other people because people just sitting back waiting for colleges
to sure. Yeah,
them.
they think they gonna knock on the door. Yeah,
contact these coaches,
for
man.
Sure, definitely. Yeah,
contact them because they don't have time. They can't see everybody.
For
only people they seeing is the ones that's being talked about.
Yeah, for sure.
But you might be better than the ones that they're being talked about.
For sure.
But you just don't have that platform.
Yeah.
So email these coaches, send them your film, and I'm telling you, we get at least 5. If we got 10 girls on our team, 5 of them don't want to play college basketball. They just want to play. Probably 3 of them. 2 of them. But I at least have 5 girls on my team that tell me, and all of them go to college.
Yeah, that's good.
All of them go to college because they follow my system.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm don't rely on me.
Yeah.
I email for you.
Yeah.
Dude, I got a lot of stuff to do.
Going on. For sure.
I need you to email. They're like, how many coaches did I email? I don't email 20 coaches a day.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
20 coaches a day.
Yeah.
And it's like, I ain't saying send the same email.
Yeah, for sure.
But email 20 coaches a day.
Yeah.
20 coaches a day and see what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I got one girl that's constantly email. This girl ain't had no office. She came to me last year. Ain't had no office. Nobody looking at her, nothing.
Yeah.
This girl the whole summer at the AAU season, emailing, high school time, emailing. Now she's one of Bethany.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know what I mean? D3 school, just email coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
If they're going to like you, they're going to like you.
Yeah.
You only need one yes.
Yeah, you only need one yes. That was my whole mindset. Right. That was like, man, I only need, and that's why I used to go to every web page. I used to go to the university web page. I used to go to athletics, football, and then I go to staff and directory where they give you every email, every coach's email on that staff. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, one of these coaches gonna see this email,
right? And now it's even easier because you can go onto the athletic page.
Yeah, for sure.
And at the bottom, they say it need to be like recruitment.
Yeah, for sure.
Fill out the form.
Yeah.
Now and
it's different. Yeah, for sure.
You send it to the coach. You fill out the form. You can send them a film and all that. And
it's an easier process.
Well, back in the day, you had to you had to put the videotape inside his VCR, record, and you had to send them videotapes like through the mail.
Yeah.
Now you don't got to do. It's so easy.
Yeah.
To me, right now, it's like so easy to get recruited.
Yeah, for sure.
If you put the work in.
Gotcha.
It's easier because everything is digital now.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm telling you, back, man, you had the VCR.
Yeah.
Had to record. Yeah. You had to send it in letters. Like, you had to write letters. So imagine that.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a part of the journey, and like everything that I was going through, and everything that led up into that point, I would just send in the emails and let the coaches know where I was standing at and stuff like that. Like, as far as my situation, and my head coach from Virginia State University, his name is Reggie Barlow. He played in the NFL for a while, and he ended up sending me an email right away, like, man, we need you here. Okay. Like we need you to come here, man. We need that leadership. Your film back it up. I just need you to come here and work. And once I got there, it was another cultural shock, because now we going from North Dakota and we coming back down this way. But I went to Virginia State University, and that's an HBCU. Yeah. So like now I'm coming from a PWI to a turn up school. Yeah, so,
party all day.
Yeah, so it was a lot of partying going on. It was a lot of just the culture of our people. It was a lot going on. But
how did you stay focused on
that's what I was ready to say. Back to what I said earlier, I told myself, like, once I got to college, like, I was going to be a student first.
Right.
So I kind of really, like, I blocked out a lot of stuff when I got to college, as far as like the partying, going out, hanging, all this stuff, because I was just like really focused in school.
Right.
I graduated college with like probably like a 3.7 GPA.
Wow.
So and I graduated high school with like probably a 1.9 GPA.
Dude, I got my transcription in the mail all the day, right, from school. I'm like, yo, this cannot be my grades from high school, yo.
Yeah.
But in my transcripts, like my third quarter, it was even my first quarter grades was missing my, because I'm like, yo, I don't remember these grades from high school. But in college, like, I was the same thing with you. I had a 3.7 grade point average from college.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, whoa. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So taking that education serious, like, that's the first part. Man.
Yeah, that's what it was for me. It was just more so being a student, because now I knew at that point, I was like, if football fails, then I'll be able to have a career once I graduate from college.
Right.
And that wasn't really like my 100% focus, because like I still had those dreams of like, man, I'm gonna make it to the NFL and stuff like that. But my main focus was like just being a student first.
Right.
And a lot of people that I met in college, they kind of more so admire me for being a student, because they understood my story and where I came from.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they know I wasn't doing a lot of BSing in school. I was really like that. I was like in high school, I probably would never raise my hand. None of that stuff, man.
Yeah, you the cool athlete.
The cool athlete. I'm in the class chilling out and all that type of stuff. But man, in college, I'm sitting in the front of everything. I'm best friends with the professors and all of that type of stuff, man. Because
that's why all athletes should be like, yo, sit in the front.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you need to be sitting in front, and that's what I would try to explain to like my high school girls. Like, yo, I need y'all sitting in front of the class.
Yeah, for sure.
I need you sitting in front of the class, because I can't. And some of them ain't listening. Some of them failed off the team.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't listening. You ain't failed off the team. Now it's like, okay, I get my grades ready for next. No, like I cannot vouch for you if your grades ain't good.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one thing I'm not taught to no coaches.
For sure. Definitely.
You ain't messing up for everybody else.
Definitely.
So, man, look, your story is the epitome of an underdog story, man. From the beginning, from being undersized as a player. What position did you play?
I played defensive end, but and linebacker. So I was more so like that Micah Parsons.
Okay.
Yeah, like kind of like a hybrid defensive end slash linebacker. Yeah, for sure.
And just imagine me though.
Yeah.
When I played football like 1 year.
Yeah.
In high school, and then I hurt my back.
Okay.
But just imagine me playing.
Yeah.
I'm 150 pounds in high school.
Yeah.
And I'm playing defensive end.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I was fast.
For sure, yeah, for sure, definitely.
But I could hit hard.
Yeah.
And dude, that side, like my homeboy Sherman, rest in peace, him, my homeboy Jermaine was the corner.
Yeah.
Sherman was the D tackle. And that was a defensive end.
Yeah.
Nobody went on that side.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody went on that side. Dude.
For sure.
we was just smacking them.
Yeah.
And we was playing against Carve one game.
Okay.
And they threw a screen pass on the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
Now I could have intercepted the screen pass, right? And scored. I didn't want to.
Yeah, you wanted to hit.
I wanted to hit. So the dude caught the ball,
for sure.
and I hit him and lift him up. And when I tell you, my homeboy Jermaine, he dove in the air over top of me, and hit the dude, Both of us drilled the dude in the ground. Dudes were like, "Yo, take me out." That was a fun time. But I'm like, I was only like 150 pounds.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
150. So I understand, being the smallest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Being small. And then my coach had me play nose tackle one
year.
Yeah,
for sure.
Against Curly, and I played nose tackle.
Yeah.
And I was just bowing over the center.
For sure. Yeah, and that be the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like some of those positions, like even with now, like a lot of those positions, like we be playing out of position. Mm-hmm. So like you get used to those things, and then when you get to the next level, it kind of be like a lot of kids, they get discouraged because they wasn't prepared to go and play a different position. They was only prepared to play the position that they played. So for me, it was kind of like, even though I was like undersized, by me having that work ethic and that motor, it kind of for sure, it kind of like just played in my favor for real, because I was able to outwork the heavier guys.
Right.
Get what I'm saying? And
you was a little quicker than them.
Yeah, for sure. I was. For sure, definitely.
Yeah, so that all that worked out for you. Yeah. Like I always tell people, the lowest man to the ground always wins.
For sure, definitely. Yeah.
The lowest man to the ground always wins. So and being undersized as a player, like you faced a lot of doubt about your position, about your potential, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then you're involved into a starter at 3 different systems.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean that's a great thing. So what lessons have you learned from being an underdog, and how have those experiences like shaped you as a player and as a person?
The lessons I learned was really just like one thing I always kind of like told myself was just like always remain humble for one. Mm-hmm. Don't ever get too overzealous or get too big headed. Even if you're doing something good, don't get too big headed about that one thing that you're doing good, because there's always somebody out there working a little harder than you. Right. So for me, just being undersized, like I said, me being up against guys that was from different states and stuff like that, I just learned that, like, man, hard work and dedication. You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in endless hours of work to get the results that you're looking for. And that also the same thing in life. You gotta be able to get up every single day and just put in the work, and everything that you talk about that you want, you can achieve. You just gotta work for it. A lot of people just think it's gonna come easy, but you gotta trust the process. Everything is a process in life. And you get up every single day, you do what you're supposed to do, and the process, you just gotta embrace it. And that was more so what it was for me. Like, I had started learning that in college. I was like, dang, man, all of this is just a process to me. Like, and I end up embracing that process, and it end up being the best thing that happened to me, really. Even with once I got to my school at Virginia State, some of the other teams that I was on in my other colleges was like, sorry. Like, we was like horrible, like, sorry. But that never really discouraged me, because, like I said, I was always a part of, like, just like, man, stay humble. You gonna get to a good situation at some point.
Yeah, and I think that's gone right now. Like, I'm playing on this sorry team. Like, well, make people better.
Yeah, for sure,
like,
definitely.
If you're a real baller, you'll make people around you
for better. Sure, definitely.
Like, you'll pump your team. Like, yo, I get a 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You want to get your teammates better? Yo, I get a 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes, this is what I do.
For sure.
You come with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's just like, no, I want to transfer.
Nah. Yeah.
Team sorry now.
Yeah, for sure.
Team sorry, Dad. I want to transfer.
Yeah.
I gotta do all the work. No, how about you, yo? listen, though, I'm about to go hoop.
Yeah.
Yo, won't you come out with me? So I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? The last person on the bench, you should be bringing with you. Like, yo, come on, let's go work out, yo. Like, I want the team to get better, but it ain't like that now. And it's like, man, this team's sorry. We ain't winning nothing. Let me go here.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Let me go there. So I don't think that. I think everything is an I thing now.
Yeah, like, for sure.
Like you said, don't nobody want to go through the process.
Yeah.
But the ones that go through the process, the ones that will really succeed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you can be the top girl. People say it's a top girl, but I had this girl over here that's working.
Yeah.
But you don't think you got to work that much
for sure. Yeah.
Give me a year with her. I bet she pass you. And she's going to stay working because I'm gonna make sure she got that work ethic. Yeah. But nowadays it's just like don't nobody want to go through the process. And like Kobe said, the journey is the most. He enjoyed the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Like not the end result.
Yeah,
it was the journey.
The journey, like, definitely.
Because when you enjoy the process, it makes everything better.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we can't control the end result.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
like in a basketball game, or a football game. We can't control the scoreboard.
Yeah.
We only control what we're doing on the field and try to, and that's the journey.
Absolutely.
What we're doing on the field is the journey.
Yeah.
What you're doing on the basketball court is the journey. What you're doing on the soccer field, that game is the journey.
Yeah.
Whatever happens at the end, long as you did your best.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You still won the game.
For sure, definitely.
You still won the game, as long as you did your best, man.
Yeah, so that was good for me because like you saying, at the end of the process, my last year of college, we end up going 11-0.
Oh, good.
We won a CIAA championship. We went to the we went to the D2 national playoffs. So I mean, it was like, and once I got there, the guys there was giving me a hard way because they was like, man, we don't accept transfers in here. Like we've been here for 4 years, man. Transfers don't come in and start and stuff like that. But I already like you said before, that underdog mentality was just already in me.
Right.
So I already knew every situation that I got in, I just knew like, man, I gotta put in the work. I gotta work when nobody else is working.
Right.
And that was just my whole mentality the whole entire time, no matter what I was going through, the deaths that I faced, my mom being sick, my brother going through his situations at home and stuff like that. I just always knew like, man, I gotta persevere through all of this stuff.
Right.
I gotta make it because if I don't, it'll be like all for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So that's the underdog perseverance, man. That's the underdog spirit that you have, man. So look, your journey is powerful, man. Yeah. It's a blatant reminder that where you start doesn't dictate where you'll end up.
For sure.
Right. You started at a town called whatchamacallit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? With 2 people population, population 2.
Yeah, for sure.
To go into a cold Minnesota, small school in Minnesota, to go into
North Dakota where it was cold at, yeah, for sure.
Where it was cold as heck at. Yeah. You ended up somewhere, went 11-0.
Yeah.
So, like, people give up on that story.
For sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, don't give up on it,
don't
right?
Give up, yeah.
You wind up going to a school, wind up, winning the CIAA and things like that,
yeah.
man. So just to tell people, like, your story is not like everybody else's. Your path
for sure.
is different.
Yeah.
Right? Just don't give up on that path and keep on working hard, man.
For sure.
So, in your spirit, in your work, in your heart, that defines your path, man. I really thank you for you sharing your incredible story, man, with us today.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I really think us working together, I never knew this.
Yeah, for sure, definitely,
that. I came to you and I'm like, yo, I know you got an underdog story.
For sure.
Like, man, I got one for you.
Definitely, yes, sir.
And man, this is a perfect example
for sure
of what this show is all about, man.
Absolutely.
It's letting ordinary people tell their underdog stories, man, so ordinary people can relate to them.
Yeah.
And say, you know what, I'm not going to give up.
For sure.
I'm going to keep on pushing.
Yeah.
His story is just like mine, but, I'm going to keep on going. He validated what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Hearing his story, really inspired me. And that's what I want. I just want to inspire people, man. Because all my years, like, I coached underdogs.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Have I ever thought of myself as an underdog? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was the smallest dude on the court. I'm 5'11".
Yeah.
Right now, right? Sometimes I got on court with people that, like, oh, yo, you know, he ain't better than him. And I'm like, okay. Then I get on the floor and I drop 37 points.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, maybe he is, but and sometimes I like, for instance, for my story, it's like, and I never told my mother this, but she know it now, is that I had a chance, but I didn't take it because, again, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to that Catholic school to play basketball.
For sure.
I want to see my homeboys.
Yeah.
And I never, even though the high school the coach wanted me to come down there to his practice, imagine going to a school with the 9th grade class is 1,000 kids. This is a high school.
Yeah.
So Lake Clifton was like the biggest high school,
that's
one
tough.
of the biggest high.
Yeah, that's tough.
So imagine going into a gym with over 2,000 people trying out for the basketball team.
Sheesh.
How discouraging is that?
Yeah.
So I walked in and I walked out. And I didn't think like, okay, just let me go call the people and go to the private school. I didn't think that. I still wanted to be my homeboy. Will my life would have turned out better? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm good where I'm at because now I can tell my story. I can have people share their story.
For sure.
So now somebody else is, better be able to navigate. Okay, I got that offer, but I ain't thinking about it. So I'd rather go here instead of hanging with my friend. They can still be my friends, but you know what I mean? And I'll probably have a better opportunity.
For sure.
When I think that's what happened to you. Like you say, you ain't want to come back to Baltimore.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? When you was younger, because this
Wanted
path
to
might
do
have
something
turned out
different. Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to break that cycle on my family.
Right.
Just growing up saying everybody do the wrong thing. I was like, man, somebody got to do the right thing.
Right.
And that's really was my mindset the whole entire time. It's just like, man, I gotta make it out of here. I gotta get out of here. I gotta be that success story for the nephews and nieces and my little cousins coming up. Like my big cousin did it first. Now we're gonna follow in his path.
Right, and that's what we supposed to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Do that for our youngins, man. So man, look, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate
you having me.
I know you got the baby with you and stuff like that, so I really appreciate you. So to all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Four Core Dreams, the Underdog Voice. Remember, guys, every underdog has their day, and every day is a chance for you to turn the tide to your favor. Right? So keep fighting, keep dreaming. Until next time, never, ever, ever underestimate the heart of an underdog. Holla.
Yes, sir.